Brothers, are you ready to talk about Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2?
Chaos.
Chaos.
Isn't that what the people are called?
Yes, they're
the,
chaos.
The bad people.
Oh, I thought they were like Tyranids.
Terminids. No, that's Helldivers too.
No, that's Tyranids.
Don't get it twisted.
Wait, isn't Helldivers Tyranids? And then this is Tyranids?
Tyrannids.
Yeah, so, yeah.
difference?
Yeah.
Similar, but
Aren't
different.
they bugs?
Very different.
Yeah.
They're all
similar,
bugs.
but very different.
But yes, no, there's chaos. And then you call the aliens the Xenos. So technically the Tyranids are Xenos as well.
Have we ran into aliens?
No.
Oh, just Tyranids.
Well, no, they're all aliens. Well, besides the chaos.
Well, technically, we're an alien too.
Okay, we're going to get into a bunch of lore right now, just so everyone's not confused. I'm joking.
Oh, I thought you were going to give us a whole...
like lay it down.
Yeah, just tell us the whole universe of the
There's
Warhammer.
nothing we can do right now that's going to make it less complicated.
What I have, I never played Space Marine 1. Have you?
Okay.
You played it?
No, I never did.
You played it.
Yes, I did.
You can correct me on something.
Came out in 2011.
What's the main guy's name again?
Titus.
Titus. I was just going to say Tyranny. I was
Think of Fallout.
Yeah. Titus, you start up with the game. You're part of the Black Guard.
Death Watch.
And you're a Black Shield, right? So you're like fucking...
You're like one of the highest ranking members. I don't know much about Death Watch, but everyone was like, it's such a great honor for you to be in this.
No, it wasn't an honor. He was being he betrayed. He did some betrayal in the first game or he was.
Let me. Okay, I will do some lore stuff.
There we go. See, if I fuck it up, he'll get it.
So in the first game, Titus and two other Marines were sent to, I forget which planet, to deal with the orcs, and they met up with this guy. I forget his name. And he had this weapon.
Some good lore stuff.
Yeah, lore stuff. He had this weapon. It starts with a D. I don't want to get it wrong. So
okay,
it's like Dolgan or Daragon or something like that.
Okay.
Anyway, he's been working on this secret weapon. So he's like, okay, we'll help you get this secret weapon and activate it, and it'll kill all the orcs on the planet.
Okay.
Well, come to find out, that guy was actually dead the whole time, and he was just being mind controlled. So he's just a walking corpse, and no one knew it. So this Chaos Lord comes out of the warp. And was like, I was behind this plan the whole time. And so they activate this special crystal thing, and Titus touches it, and come to find out he has this like affinity against the warp, so it doesn't like corrupt you, because the warp, like if you look into it, you just become mad, and then there's all the chaos with different factions and stuff that go down. It's a mess.
Okay.
So you have a group of people. I forget their name too. It's been like a week. It's been a week or two since I've seen this. Damn it, I'm trying to think of it.
This lore is starting to become a bore.
There's a lot of shit. Okay,
I appreciate people that like are super into Warhammer and know the lore and all that stuff. But for people coming into this game, I think that's a little bit of its downfall. I mean, not downfall, but like a little bit of something that annoyed me. I grasped some of the concept of it, of the enemy types and a little bit of the lore, but not fully. And they don't really do a recap of Space Marine 1 for you going into this. And Austin and I were just talking about this before we started recording, is like, I kind of wish they had like in the beginning a recap before you just jump into it. But basically you just jump into the game.
it's the Inquisitors.
Oh, here we go.
They're a group of people who tried to... Basically, the warp and the demons and the Chaos Marines are like a huge threat. And so, if you come in contact, with the warp, if you come in contact with any of the chaos, the Inquisitors are going to go there and actually kill you. So you're not allowed to go back to civilization, because you could potentially turn into one of these entities and then create chaos and havoc and kill a bunch of people.
So is that how you become a Chaos? I'm confused on the Chaos Marine part.
Yes.
Right? Like, were they past Marines?
They are.
And how do they become corrupted, or like, do they choose that, or is there...
They become corrupted because they go insane. There's a lot of like, that's just a simplified version of it.
Okay.
They go into the... Okay. So... The warp is like space-time, but it's also hell. So you can... The way that the humans travel into space very quickly is going through the warp. But when you go into the warp, you're going into chaos.
Okay.
And so
you're going to
the warp,
hell.
yes, you're going through hell as well.
Okay.
So going through that, you have to have a special drive and mechanism inside of your ship.
Okay.
Sometimes that breaks. Other things happen.
Okay.
And you come in contact
So like a
with
warp
these
drive,
entities.
except this is called a hell drive.
Well, you have a warp drive of some kind. I forget all the terminology. I'm doing my best here, guys, okay?
I can't wait to read
And
the
so
comments.
you come in contact with the warp and these entities, and you could go mad. There's a lot of stipulations and things that peter off from
And that's
that.
when they start playing the Gears of War trailer with Mad World.
There you go. Yes.
Okay.
So there's that.
Okay. Beyond the story.
Let's come back.
Yeah, so let's go
beyond the
into
story.
Let me finish. Let me finish where we left
okay.
off in Space
Oh,
Marine
okay,
1. Yeah.
okay.
So Inquisitors take Titus because he has come in contact with the warp, and they want to interrogate him and torture him and make sure that his mind isn't warped by chaos.
By chaos.
And so that's where he's been this whole time. And there's a whole backstory of what happened from Space Marine 1 to Space Marine 2.
Oh, shit.
He was tortured for like decades, maybe a millennium. He was put on ice for a while. He was erased from the records because,
Yeah, they mentioned that in this one.
yeah,
In
he was
Space
erased
Marine
from the
2. I couldn't
records.
find
And
any
then
records of him.
the guy who's in charge of the Ultramarines now was like, they found where he was, and there was a bunch of other Space Marines that were being technically, what do you call it? Experimented on by this one crazy guy who's supposed to be torturing them, make sure they're not involved in chaos. He went mad. He became part of chaos. They come in, kill him, and then they free all the Marines.
Okay. So with that being said, is like the story progressed because Titus comes back and now he has two new guys with him in his crew, and they are really don't trust him at all.
Yeah,
And
'cause
I love-
he was just assigned to them.
Yeah, and they are doing like background checks on him, can't find anything about him, and they get like little little clues here and there, and like I love that struggle between the three.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying it. I wish they would dive a little bit deeper into the character of Titus, because I don't know much about him.
Right.
You know what I mean? But the other two characters like kind of assist you with that, trying to figure out, because now I'm curious, and that's what's pushing me towards the story. That's where I was trying to get at. with
Yeah.
all
I
of
gotcha.
that. Yeah.
I do wish they did something like, we were talking about how like Borderlands, they should have put some kind of like, the animated,
Yeah,
like
animated
whatever.
thing or
I think it would have
something.
been cool to have some kind of like animated intro to this. That's like, here's the world that you're about to embark upon, and then here's what happened before you start this game.
Yeah, I think they were just super confident that a lot of people, there's a lot of Warhammer fans. So
Yeah.
I think they were pretty much confident that it was going to do well. And plus with the new either TV show or movie that's coming out with it, along with the, what's that new TV show that's coming out? The anthology of like Secret Level. Is that what it's called?
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that coming out, I think they were hoping for, that will get people to want to go watch stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To get more involved with the world, with the whole ecosystem of Warhammer. I even played the board game, and stuff like that. Is it called board game?
What?
The Warhammer
Tabletop.
No,
tabletop.
it's a
tabletop.
war game.
I don't
Oh,
want
it's a war game.
war game. I don't want
It's a
to
war game.
hurt people's feelings on
Yeah,
here.
it's
Well,
a tabletop,
actually,
it's a tabletop game, but it's a war game, as
Okay.
it's known in the.
and there's a card game too, right?
They have cards with the game.
Oh, I thought there was.
What was
like
that game that you bought?
That was Warhammer Underworlds
Underworlds, yeah.
for fantasy.
To be honest, like Warhammer is so big and they have so many different factions. I'm excited. I'm hoping to see all the factions within this game, like with the new, with their roadmap and stuff like that. I want to see more factions. I want to see a constant revolving change of stuff.
I know like the general main popular factions that you kind of see over and over again, and then going into the customization and looking at all of the different colors and actual factions you can be. I was like, dude, and I've gotten like watched a few brief videos of like different odd factions and stuff, and as far as I could tell, there's a lot. They put like, it looks like all of them, like even the ones that like aren't that popular or like lesser known, like they're in here, which is insane.
And this was in the co-op part.
Yeah, this is when you can go in. Yeah,
Co-op or
shit,
multiplayer.
Yeah,
So
or
it's
PvP.
Like, whoa!
I haven't played the co-op or the PvP at all. I've just been playing main story. But so far, I'm enjoying it. Sorry.
So I was going to say, let's rewind it back a little bit and talk about what this game actually is.
Oh shit! Yeah,
So Warhammer Space Marine 2 is a third-person shooter, if you will, but it's a melee shooter game. There is 3 parts to it. Or actually, let's talk about where it's available. It's available on PC and PlayStation. You're playing on PlayStation 5,
I'm playing
right?
on PlayStation 5.
Is it on Xbox?
Yes,
Okay, it's on Xbox, yeah. So it should be on everything. It's made by Saber Interactive. So those that don't know who Saber is, they're most recently known for World War Z, the game, which had the big, huge horde design thing that you'll see come through in this game as well. Yeah. And so they put together this game. So there's 3 components to it. There's your main co-op or your main campaign story, and that can be played co-op with up to 3 players. So you plus 2 people. And then there's separate co-op missions that take place as kind of addendums to the main story. So you're playing as Titus in the main story, but then you can play as other Space Marines that are doing another like objective, if you will, during some of the missions that you're playing out.
So and Titus is doing the main mission, and you're in the background assisting your background characters doing stuff in the background.
Yeah. So, and then there's the PvP version that you can go into that's just like, was it 5 or 6, Austin?
I think it was 5.
6 on 6.
6 on 6, yeah. So 6v6 PvP, very kind of standard. There's like a domination. There's a control point where the control point moves around. You capture that. There's the 3 control points. You capture, King of the Hill, the domination, and there's like annihilation, which is team deathmatch essentially. So that's the base of kind of where the game is. So diving back in the campaign, we've been playing.
Yep.
Got through. I think y'all are, I don't know who's further.
I think I am.
Yeah, I think Jason's further.
Okay, cool. I just almost finished mission 3. There's apparently 6 missions in this game.
Oh yeah, then I'm almost done.
Yeah, so you're probably pretty close. It's 6 missions for the non-co-op separate one. So
which kind of annoys me.
Yeah. And then, I mean, gameplay wise, like, I think what this game has done such a good job of, so like, we were talking all about story, lore, and all that stuff. Like, honestly, I'm not like super, super in-depthly engrossed in this story.
Yeah.
And even without knowing the backstory, I'm like, I don't really care because it's just kind of, I like playing the game and I like the world and I like the environment that's in here. And for that, I'm like, I don't fully follow the story as much as like you guys were kind of diving into it, but I'm still enjoying myself with the game. Yeah. Because like even regardless of that. And when you play the game, you start out, you have you have guns that you can use. You have your bolt rifles. You have some long range you can pick up along the way. Yeah. But you usually just have a gun, and then you have like a melee weapon. Yeah. And then there's a parry mechanic, and there's also a dodge mechanic.
Well, you have your primary and secondary weapon. You have grenades, and then you have your melee.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you have a special ability. Yeah. That when you get in the class system in the co-op part plus multiplayer, you can change what that class ability is, which is pretty cool. But how do you guys like the gameplay? Like, how do you feel about it so far?
Love it.
Yeah,
it's great. Like, just you feel like a Space Marine, basically. You just go in there, you get these guns, and they sound like just how they look, just beastly and brutal, and even with the jerking of shooting them and stuff, like it's just like, yes, I feel it. Running around like you feel like a heavy tank. You're basically a human tank. Yeah. And so all the guns just provide that. And as you progress, you start finding more and more guns, so you can actually create loadouts in the campaign and in multiplayer. And it's just, I love it. I mean, especially doing the melee, like really getting in there. Like you have some stuff you can do, like with melee, if you do a long hold and you can hit like a group of enemies that are coming at you or on you, and it allows you to do like it marks somebody, and so you can pull your gun, pull your trigger and use your sidearm to take them out, and that you do that with the small guys and the big guys. And then there's the takedowns. So once you get someone, I guess once you break their armor and stamina, they're stuck, they're like stunned. So you can go up there and do a really cool takedown. They
start glowing red.
Each weapon has a different takedown. I think each weapon only has 2 takedowns. I'm trying to count. It's been awesome. I mean, it is brutal, and this is exactly what I've been wanting from a Warhammer game, especially just to feel like a Space Marine, because the first one was really good. Like I remember playing it, and it was awesome. It was brutal, but this one just, it definitely evolved to, I just want to see more of this. I'm going to play more of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really liking the gameplay of. I mean, that's my favorite part of it. Honestly, is just like the gameplay. It's hard. Like this. I've noticed, especially playing solo. Like this game is not easy. The swarms can get really overwhelming, and they just start like draining my health down like crazy. And I haven't quite figured out some of the meta of that, but I did notice like recently, like if you do the takedown, like it gives you some armor back.
Yeah.
Which I was like, oh, duh. I wish I was realizing that sooner because that is really helpful to have.
The whole healing process, I was a little confused on because I thought if you didn't reach a certain bar and you start like killing things, it'll start healing you, but that's not the case. And then
No, just recharge your armor.
yeah, I
Takedowns recharge your armor.
Yeah.
You have 3 bars of armor.
But beyond that, the game is gameplay wise is fine. I was talking to Brad about this just recently. It reminds me a lot of Evil West, just a little bit smoother, and plus, changing out the weapons and stuff. Some things that annoy me with the game is the AI. Like if you're not playing with anyone else and you have your 2 members with you running around, they'll weaken a person all the way down where they're turning red, and then they'll run away from them.
I know. I've noticed that
I'm
too.
like, just kill them. Just like, there's too much shit happening.
Yeah, they want
for
you
me
to-
run
I know.
over there and kill them. Just fucking kill them.
It seems to be like if I'm far enough away, they will. But if
Yeah.
I'm close, like at a certain distance, they'll like.
They're like, oh no, you got that.
They're like, "Are you looking? Are you
I'll be
watching?"
across the goddamn map, and they'll still fucking just leave them there.
Remember, they don't trust you yet, man.
Yeah,
they want you to
fuck
do the dirty
off.
work.
But, and then
But when they're
also-
stunned, they take more damage. So
Yeah.
you could shoot them in the head, and they die in a few shots.
I kind of wish there was. I said this about a lot of other different games. I kind of wish there was a like shooting range, because you'll go in there and look at all these guns, but no stats appear for them or anything like that unless you go to your main hub place and
The barge.
the barge, and you can see the stats for it. But I kind of wish there was like a hovering icon showing the stats for the gun, because my concern is it might be better.
Oh, so you're in luck because coming later this September, they're bringing a sparring arena to the barge where you can like test out weapons and stuff like that.
That's
Yeah.
fucking phenomenal. Okay, yeah. Because there's a lot of times that I'll pick up weapons and I'm like, I feel like I need this weapon for something, and that's why they left it here.
Yeah.
So I'm very concerned about just like saying, but I'm content with the weapon I have. And then also, I thought for some odd reason, I don't know why, with single player, you are creating your own Marine, customizing it.
I thought
getting whatever techniques you like or power ups or whatever, and that Marine carries over to like the co-op and the multiplayer stuff on what you're building out. It is not. You are just following You are Titus, and you are just going through the motions, and they equip you with whatever power ups you are required to need.
Yeah, I feel like this game is you're meant to play the campaign first and then go back and play co-op and PvP because of like how they kind of like spoon feed you some of the abilities. And because there was that one mission in like episode 2 where it's like they give you the jetpack, and it's like the whole level is designed around the jetpack, and that is a class-based ability that you get later on. So, but yeah, no, I agree. I was kind of hoping for that too, because it is weird that I'm like, leveling up these classes over here, but it's not affecting my main campaign story part of it.
Oh, you're talking about in the co-op, you can level up your stuff. Yeah, and you see, I think that's what's missing as well out of the campaign. It just seems, how can I put this? It's just something to do. It doesn't feel impactful enough. I'm not gaining anything out of it. Like, I can't level up anything.
Yeah, you're just progressing.
I'm just progressing story.
Yeah.
That's it. It feels like it's just there.
Yeah.
And like, I want to play co-op with you guys, but Austin and I had an issue the first time. I mean, there was just recently
still an issue.
still an issue.
So we got it working, but it's like there's a hack to make it work, which is annoying.
So that's quite annoying because I want to play the co-op missions with my friends, but I can't because like it just won't ever connect with us on the server. So I feel like once I jump into the co-op and I have that little meat on the stick or carrot on the stick to chase after, I will enjoy this game a little bit more.
Yeah.
But right now the main story is just like I'm doing basically the same. I'm killing a bunch of shit and just keep going. Story is semi-interesting. The only thing that hurts it is just like I don't have any background information on a lot of these characters or what's happening. So if I think
That is interesting.
I think if I was more dedicated to that, if I had a recap and like figuring it out. I mean, it's still, like I said, I'm still intrigued just because what's helping is his two side characters pushing him along, and we're all three of us as trying to figure out Titus. So
what's interesting is this is one of those games that most of the time you have like a codex or whatever in a game, and you're like, I don't want to read that shit. It's not worth my time. This is one that could benefit from a codex of like just give me some better understanding of like who is Titus, what is the chaos or whatever. Just like give you a little glossary of stuff you can like read if you want to learn it. But obviously that's probably hard. It's like
I was like,
there's so much to it, but I feel like there's something you can do where it's like as you encounter it in the game, it like pops up in a way where you can like read a little backstory behind like what this thing is.
I do think that would be a little beneficial.
But once again, like gameplay wise, it's fine. There's some glitches here and there, but I think the most recent patch probably fixed that a little bit. Hopefully, I haven't ran into it this morning because I think I played 3 hours of it this morning and I didn't run into it.
I'll tell you what you need the PS5 Pro, dude. That's why.
Oh my god, this motherfucker!
We'll get into it later.
I know, just kidding. It's funny. Yeah, I mean, I'm really loving my experience with it so far. Like I said, I'm not like in love with the story or anything like that. The game's really hard, but I love the environment.
Yeah,
is so incredibly detailed. It's like some of the most detailed stuff I've ever seen, and I'm just like shocked at how much they made it, how much detail they put into it. Like Austin said, like I love the feeling of the Space Marine. Like they actually really did a good job at capturing like you're a big bulking tank, and like, but you can still feel fast.
Bless you.
Excuse me. Like there's still like when I run, I can run around and like still feel like I'm moving quickly, but I feel bulky and heavy when I'm like fighting bad guys. I will say when I get swarmed, like my health drops like so fast. It's insane.
You got to dodge roll, dude. Get out of there.
Do a lot of dodge roll.
Throw a grenade.
Yeah. And, but all the abilities and capability, like there's a lot more depth to the gameplay than I expected there to be. Like I love the run in there and like do melee and then fall back and do some gunshots. And then that mix of like melee and like third person is really fun.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. It is very much a lot like a Evil West kind of experience, but I like it better because it feels so much more polished and everything, which is nice.
Yeah.
But it does have a similar vibe.
It was so weird with Evil West. The main character felt clunky. In this, I don't feel clunky, but I'm a clunky character.
Right.
Like it's so weird. I think they did this right on the combat system of melee guns and all that stuff, just all a mixture. So
yeah, and it's like it's crazy coming from like playing Darktide and how like broken that game was at launch, and just like buggy and stuff. Like this game's running good for me. I gotta turn it up all the way, and it's like I mean I dip to like 45, 50 frames per second every once in a while, but like it's running pretty solid.
I was pretty much a fucking idiot whenever I jumped into this game.
Really,
and I did the like. Because you did the first mission in the very beginning. I did the very first mission. I was like, God, this game looks like that fucking that Darktide game a lot. I was just like, that's weird.
Especially when the loading screen is like it looks just like
the loading screen, the environment. I was just like,
and you were like, oh, this is Warhammer.
It took me 5 seconds, and I was just like, I'm fucking retarded. This is fucking Warhammer. What am I saying?
Oh, that's funny.
Well, I do appreciate that they kind of kept like I don't know if that is something that was always in the lore, like the way. Or just like the game verse of it, like they're keeping that
like the loading screen type thing.
Yeah, like when you're on the ship and
cool.
you're going somewhere, like they have the mission and stuff, and then a lot of the sounds are the same from Darktide, and I'm just like, I really appreciate that. There's like a lot of consistency. I mean, in the past, games wouldn't do this. Like it'd be made from different people, and they would all have to come up with different stuff.
I like this better in Darktide if you want.
Oh, so much better. I'm done with Darktide.
Yeah.
No, I'm ready to go back.
No, I'm done with Darktide.
And I've heard people say that they actually like the gameplay of Darktide better.
Nah, this is better.
I mean, this is simplified. It's just like you got guns,
this is
you
more
got
complicated.
weapons,
I need to jump into the co-op.
This is better.
I want to play with
better.
friends.
I'm playing. Both. I want to play both.
So I really want us to play like the main campaign because like I can't do it solo. And I feel like we need to like
hit me up, bro.
Play through that. Yeah, we'll have to do that because
maybe right after this,
Yeah.
yeah.
Dude, come on, man.
No, I can play tomorrow night.
No, play tonight.
I can't. Well, I can play tonight.
Anyway,
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
play today after
No,
this
tonight.
podcast.
Tonight, yeah.
No,
Duh,
not
good. Tonight, yeah. perfect.
Anyway.
All right. So main story, playing through that. It's not going to be super long from what I understand. It's like 6 missions. So we haven't beat it yet, but I think you're close.
I'm so fucking close.
Jason's close. Austin's close.
I'm past halfway.
I'm like halfway probably. But then we jumped into, me and Austin played some the co-op missions. So like I mentioned earlier, the co-op missions are like like
operations.
other Space Marines that are going alongside Titus
Yeah, but
in
they're
the
doing
objectives
their
you're
own
doing. But they're doing their
operation.
own operation, yeah. And that one's really cool because that's where you can then use the class system in the game. So there's 6 classes, right? Yeah, I think there's a 5. 5 or 6, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's
There's a series of classes, and each class is going to have a type of gun that they use, a type of melee weapon, they're all available in the main game too, but they have specialized like focuses. So like one that I use is all about pistol and then like a heavy duty sword. It was the assault class.
There's 6 playable classes: assault, bulwark, heavy, sniper, tactical, and vanguard.
Okay. And then each one has its own ability.
My
Yes.
favorite sword is that fucking like long medieval looking sword.
Oh yeah.
I think it's called the power sword or whatever.
It's the one that you can like, it changes modes, right? You can like electrocute it or you can like make it normal.
Well, I'm only playing campaign. I don't.
Well, it's in campaign.
Is it?
Yeah.
Fuck
Wait, what?
off.
Yeah, you just press right bumper or whatever. I don't know what it is on PS5 controller, but the long power sword,
Long
like
power sword.
because you have the chainsaw gun, you have the big thunderbolt hammer, and then there's like a power sword that
Yeah.
you get that has a mode you can turn on. So like the normal one is like super fast slashing, and then you can turn on the it's like an electrocution on the blade, and it
Fuck,
does
dude.
like
You
heavier.
just- I've been
You just
using-
tap your. I think you just tap your reload,
Oh.
and it just like
yeah,
turns
yeah,
it
yeah.
on and off.
You hold down the reload button. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it'll
I've
go
been-
like that, and it'll turn blue.
Because I was using the knife for the longest time because it's so fast and I love it. But once I got that power sword, I was like, whoo!
Yeah.
Oh my land!
That's pretty- that's
I
pretty
do
cool.
think the chainsaw sword is the best one.
Oh yeah, the chainsaw sword is probably more than likely the best one.
Like, all
'cause
around.
I was using it for a little bit.
Well, because when you go in the the loadout,
Yeah.
it tells you like what it's
The
good
stats.
for. If it's good for like a single target or multiple targets. I think chainsaw sword leans more to one target, but it's still closer to the middle. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think the sword leans heavier to like a group.
Yeah,
I think so.
So-
Yeah. Which
Anyway.
it was helpful when I was fighting off the reactor core thing. It was just
Yeah.
like insane with how many people were coming at me. But
Well, I appreciate this customization, and because you can really go in there and be like, who wants to be close combat? Who wants to be single target? Like, I mean, it's almost like
I just wish they
Dark
had
Tide.
that in the single player shit. though.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
annoying. You're so
yeah, there's
restricted
no-
in the campaign. You can't really like customize jack shit.
Yeah. I wish you could tell your NPCs to focus on one target.
Yeah,
Like give them
Yeah.
commands, like rally up, focus on one target, hold this area.
pretty sure you can.
Can you?
Because I accidentally did something.
you can ping, but
ping.
I don't
I
know
thought
if
that
Maybe
it'll tell them
pinging will
anything.
tell them something. I don't know.
I don't know.
But,
All right.
but yeah, the different classes are pretty cool. So we played some of the co-op missions, and the co-op missions are nice because you'd get your class ability, and then it's long. I mean, that one mission we did was an hour, like literally 1
Yes.
hour to play through that whole
Yes.
co-op mission.
And go in there and each class has 3 loadouts. Go make different loadouts, because when you're in the cooperative missions, you'll find the little, I don't know, I guess
Oh yeah,
weapon
the little
swap.
weapon tower thing or whatever.
Yeah, the little weapon drop
station.
pod, and you can switch, so you're not stuck to just your loadout. Because I went in as a sniper, and I had like a charged laser sniper, and it's really slow, obviously very powerful. Didn't have a lot of ammo. Luckily, I created another loadout which I could switch to, and it made it a lot easier for me
Yeah.
to go around and survive.
Mine didn't matter because it was just
He
like
had
changing
all the
my
same
melees.
loadout.
Yeah, all the same pistol, but just different melee weapons. But
Yeah.
but it is nice if you build out your loadouts, because there is a pretty extensive system in here where every character class has a level, and then it levels itself up, and then every weapon has a level. So as you're playing through the game, you unlock more experience points towards weapons and characters, and that'll unlock a perk tree later on. Right now
Every
we're level
weapon.
1, but
Every class,
See,
everything's got a perk
so
tree.
many perks.
But
it's in the main campaign.
what I wish they would do is add, because like what I'm concerned about is like the main story.
Yeah.
Once we finish that main story, there's not much replayability for like wanting to go. Like, I don't know, have any reason I'd want to go back to those.
Yeah.
But the co-op ones, and then obviously PvP, like I would go back and do the co-op missions again because of the leveling of the characters.
Yeah.
But they don't give you that incentive for the main story because you don't have the classes there with the progression.
You don't have the class. You don't have anything. There's no carrot on the stick. So
Well, I don't know. Okay, well, maybe I'm different because obviously me and Travis played Halo.
Yeah, there's a nice little spider dropping on there.
Oh, what?
keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Me and Travis would play Halo hundreds of times on different difficulties. So I'd figure this kind of be the same thing. Like, yeah, you play through it once. Well, maybe we can all join up on each other. You know, higher difficulty.
Yeah.
Potentially have. Well, I guess you're stuck with the classes they give you for the other companions, which kind of sucks. But
Wait, yeah. So when you join in on my game, or I guess when I joined on yours, we didn't have a class, though, right?
no,
It was just-
you're Titus. You get
you're
his
Ti-
ability,
you're
and
just
then I
three
get one of the
Tituses.
other two.
Oh, that's right.
One
okay.
of them like marks all the enemies in the area, and I forgot what the other one does.
So it's a class,
he
but
does
it's tied to it.
He does like, I don't know, a battle shout that like knocks people back and
Yeah.
does damage
Okay.
to them. So
They'll do
you're
it
just
every
stuck
once in
with-
a while if you're playing by yourself.
Yeah.
But they don't do it enough. I'm like, okay.
So you're stuck with those, but I still feel like it'd be fun to go back and play it all the way through on a higher difficulty.
want to customize everything.
Well, they are bringing the higher difficulty to the co-op or the main missions in the next update, I think, or
yeah,
something
it's
like
going to
that.
be a higher difficulty level than what there is now.
But then the last thing we jumped into is PvP. And so this also has your class system here. And I think this is where like there's the most like longevity replayability because you get to pick your 6 classes and it's very much like a Destiny like arena shooter style kind of game modes.
Someone's going to
or Halo or whatever.
for that.
Yeah, probably.
That
It's just like
comparison.
Destiny.
I mean, the way the game modes are set up, obviously the play style is different,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
like the way the game modes are set up, like they're or even X Defiant has these game modes and stuff, but it's not like there's no conquest like Battlefield, you know what I mean? It's like more small arena based missions.
Yeah.
And in that they have the main capture, like, you know, King of the Hill, like Austin said, and then there's a mission type that is
See, we should play this.
yeah, no, we should go back to World War Z. It's pretty cool. It's
Same
freaking
people
insane.
who made World War Z made this game.
Yep. But it was fun. I mean, we jumped into it. The only thing I don't like about it is if one team starts doing really, really well, it kind of sucks for the other team. They're just like gonna lose because you have to get to 200 points in most of these game modes. And like if somebody's not, their team's just not playing the objective correctly, like
Yeah, you're screwed.
if you get to 150 and they have 60 or whatever, it's like, well, you're kind of lost at
Kinda
that point.
fucked.
There's plenty of time to come back. These rounds are very, very long, but you know, you really have to. I mean, I feel like if you're playing with a team, like you're all in Discord chatting with each other, like
Yeah,
you can
you can
make
do
it
it.
happen.
Yeah.
But I mean, me and Brett,
randos, that's it.
we just jumped in and we were lucky that we were on a good team.
Yeah. The maps are really cool though. They're, you know, standard arena style maps with like splits, you know, 3 different
Yeah.
lanes or whatever. And, you know, the points move around and you just capture the point. And it's cool because like everybody's got their armor. So you can see their armor like kind of as a highlight around their health bar. And then you just start, you know, based on the type of gun you have, you see their health dropping down. And if you want to get close to them, you can like, you know, do a couple slashing hits and knock them out. But they also give you points if you like support somebody else. So they'll tell you in the bottom corner, like, hey, you plus somebody else killed this person rather than just like that one person who got the kill. So it's kind of cool that they give you credit for, you know, all that stuff. But PvP was fun. I enjoyed it. And the progression ceiling is very high in this game if you're not playing the main campaign. You know, there's a lot to unlock. But I'm worried that it's going to get a little stale just because I don't know how many maps there are, but I would imagine there's not a lot. And there's only 3 game modes right now. And they're supposed to add another game mode and then some more maps in like season 2 or 3, I think.
Yeah, the next season they'll have more operative missions coming out, and a new PvP mode, I believe.
I think that's season 3, I think.
You might be right. Let's see. I just pulled it up. Right, y'all. I've lost it.
You've lost it,
Help me.
but it looks fun.
Yeah.
I'm loving what I've played thus far. Okay, so season 2, which will be this year, So in September, they're going to bring out private PvE lobbies in the Battle Barge Sparring Arena, which is, I think, where you can like test out your weapons and stuff. Season 2 is going to bring new PvE missions, plural. So new PvE missions, a lethal difficulty, a new pistol, and then a new enemy. And then like a cosmetic pack if you have the season pass.
Nice.
And then in season 3, which will be 2025, there'll be one new PvE mission, a PvP game mode, new arenas, a new enemy, PvE prestige ranks, and then a battle barge expansion, whatever that equates to. And then season 4 is going to bring horde mode, which will be awesome, and then a new enemy and a new weapon.
I'm ready for horde mode.
Yeah, horde mode.
It's gonna be fun. I to give this game longevity, I feel like they need to add. I feel like the way Vermintide did it. I know you didn't really like that game, but for me, like it was fun. That
I liked it. I got tired of it after a while.
Well, yeah, you know? I mean, you just kind of you do the same missions over and over again, and you can put them a higher difficulty, and then you get more gear, level yourself up, get higher, and I think just. For me, it was the gameplay of like trying to survive these hordes in different situations, and then being different in different situations as well was fun. And it's like, how are we going to survive this? And that, for me, just like it was titillating
for you,
very titillating. And for this, I felt like maybe if you had in the campaign, because in the campaign there are guardsmen, just like normal humans running around, and you can actually save them from being killed. I don't know if you guys pay attention to that. So like you can go in, and if you kill enough enemies and you stand in front of them and you're around them, like you can really save them and they'll stay alive. Or if you just get distracted by one big boss guy, they'll get overrun by the small guys and die. It'd be nice to see that in the end. Just like in Helldivers, it's like, oh, you killed this many Tyranids at the end of a mission, or you saved this many guardsmen, and maybe
I was really hoping for that because I wanted to see in some of those missions how much more how much we killed.
Yeah,
because they do in the co-op missions, they just don't do it in the main campaign missions,
right? And maybe that's just for a reason, but maybe maybe there's like a new campaign plus where because it'd be nice to take your class system into the campaign, and like just have fun,
yeah.
So maybe that'll be something they add in the future. I think it would give it a little bit of legs, and then obviously to unlock some of the cosmetics, you have to play. Like I think to get the ultimate cosmetic on the sniper class was like complete 36 missions.
Oh wow!
On an objective, and I was like, that's a lot of all the same.
Yeah,
there's only 6 right now. I'm assuming they might have like 3 to 4. If we're lucky, another 6 come out. That would be nice, but I doubt it. That's a lot of grinding on the same map.
Over and over again.
Yeah, and I don't know how much variability there is, because I feel like in Vermintide there was a lot of variability.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of like, Left 4 Dead. It had its like little AI thing that would, if you stood around too much, they would
send
throw a horde at
in,
you, so you have to be on your toes all the time. And I feel like it could have been the same here, but they probably won't do that.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like this one has that set up yet, but...
Yeah, probably doesn't need it.
Yeah.
It's a different game, so...
I will be curious to see how they do respond to trying to like just expand the lifespan a little bit, because if they put emphasis in just the co-op mission, because like if we finish the story and we don't go back to the story ever again, like I'm not too hurt about that, because you still have those other 6 missions you can do, and there's a lot of room to progress there. It would be nice because there's some cool set pieces in the main story that are pretty exciting. And I don't know if they're going to be in the co-op missions as much, which, that one we did was cool, but it didn't seem like there was any of the big, huge, like, set piece story moments as much, but...
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm loving the game. I'm curious if y'all would score this game, what you would give it if you, like, gave it on a 10 scale.
I give it an 8.
7.5. Really?
I'm surprised you're not higher than that.
This is like a classic game that you would experience back in the day, and I really appreciate that. Like you have all these modes. There's no battle pass currently. There is like a season pass that I guess I got because I got the $100 edition.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know what I think that just means you're just going to get special
stuff
throughout the year.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Kind of like when you buy a season pass, you'll get like new DLC content throughout the year.
Yeah,
I think this is just going to give you.
Yeah.
Because everybody's going to get the new missions.
Right.
And then the season pass just gives you new cosmetics that'll come with each release.
Yeah. No, I really appreciate it. It's all here. I don't know how much legs it has, but I mean, does everything have to have legs? Like, I appreciate that this isn't like, give us all of your time and energy and focus on like Fortnite. It's like,
this one needs legs just because the campaign is so fucking short.
I agree.
Needs some kind of legs to keep it
I
going.
appreciate that. We talk about how crazy how long these other campaigns are. It's like, I'm getting enough of what I want, and I guarantee you, they're obviously going to make a third one.
Yeah.
Which could eventually expand to be something a little bit bigger and have more. And
Yeah, but we're gonna be in our 40s when that comes out, so I don't want to deal with that right now. You know, it's just too hard to think about. You know,
I want this to be part of my life, the rest of my life.
But I'd say I was actually gonna give it an 8.5 because I think it's pretty good. But maybe an 8. You know, maybe we'll give it an 8.
Okay.
But anyway, I like it. I think it's fun. It's not like. It's not something I'm going to be playing for, 8 months, like, Helldivers necessarily, but I definitely will see myself digging into this more and finishing at least the story stuff. And I'm loving the moment-to-moment gameplay. And I mean, it's kind of samey in some areas where it's like you go fight a bunch of bad guys and you go up to an elevator and click a button and then move on to the next set of bad guys. But the environments look really cool. So
If the campaign was longer, would you give it an 8?
Probably.
yeah,
I would agree with that.
cool.
Campaign's a little short.
Well, there you have it, yo. Space Marines 2.
Space Marine
It's out now.
Go get it.
If you want to play with us, join our Discord. Check it out in the show notes.